Hi, Heather.
Hey Dylan, how are you?
I'm good. Welcome to our special episode. We're going to be discussing a lot of theories surrounding green screen, AI, deep fake, that sort of stuff. So if you're not into the
Hmm.
rabbit hole, this might not be the episode for you, and you can catch us on Tuesday.
For the real world stuff, right?
Yeah. Um, but
We're gonna have a
yeah,
little fun today.
we are gonna have a little fun today.
And
Should we just start out with the big bomb or like what you've been
um,
looking into?
well, yeah, sure. Let's get out of the way because I'm really excited to get to some of the stuff that you have to talk about.
Ooh.
So I released some videos on TikTok this morning. Let me take this off. And where, I've done some research with a couple of creators, Alan Aston, Ashlyn Slayer, over on TikTok. And we are pretty sure that there's a possibility dun, 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 that Miss Jamie Lynn Spears has been working as a double for this AI technology that
Mm.
has been making posts on Britney's feed, which is why we see all the glitches. And you just need to go see the videos. We've done like a lot of slowdowns, and some followers actually helped me piece this together too. The followers always are amazing, and you literally see Jamie's face. You really see Jamie's face when you slow it down. It's uncanny. It's crazy.
Yeah,
But
the
we've done
nose,
a lot of comparison with like the hands and stuff like that too. So
the hands. Yeah, because Brittany has
hmm
longer fingers and
hmm
like like skinnier, but she has a little bit of a stub right here, but
she does.
they're definitely not short as what we've been seeing.
Yes. And I know, and that's why I didn't break this the first time it bothered me because I already get shit for stuff anyways. And I was like, oh, this is not right. This is just a little bit too much. I'm just going a little off the deep end. I was just always bothered by the purple on the hands anyways. Alan mentioned that it might have just been lighting, but when she posted that again, and then everybody's been slowing it down and looking at frame by frame. And then I'm bringing up, along with all these other creators, about Kroll, the AI technology, and how where it's proof that this is no longer what people want to call a conspiracy. Like there's just no denying it. There is just
Right.
no denying. There's a possibility that we're wrong and it's not her, but we're here to try to solve a case and help Brittany become free. And so we have to explore every avenue. And there's a long history of issues that present itself between them that would make this feasible too,
Right. I think that
So
one of the things that I've been thinking about is like how you know, they definitely know TCon definitely knows what we're up to and like they're aware.
mhm,
And I think maybe they're throwing around Westlake so much to like be a
mhm.
distraction. Because it's clearly I mean I made a video on it yesterday, but
An amazing
going
video.
more towards
Yeah.
like the green screen side of what was going on in the picture. Because there's multiple
Hmm.
things going on in the picture. What
Yes.
and video, sorry, you know what I mean. But I wonder because like why would it be like the Westlake background? Like it just seems like that they saw that we were catching on to that and they were like, oh yeah, just
Hmm.
keep going with that because they could green screen anything behind her then.
Yeah.
But I noticed when I was slowing it down, just like you, I was just looking at her face so much, but I ended up catching like a bunch of like white from the background bleeding through. And I was like, hold up a second. So like and there's parts where it happens on her hand, especially around like her hair when she's spinning. If you slow it down, you can see where her hair is being bled into the
Like
white
this aura.
background,
I
like
need
an
to make a note. I'm
aura.
gonna ask Alan to look at that because she's like trained in like this tech stuff with that.
Yeah, it's just like it just happens when you're moving very fast in front of a green screen that can't keep up with
Really? Mm.
what it's trying to relay on the background. And you just see
Wow.
those little bits of like white from whatever she actually is standing in front of. It's not a green screen because you would see green bleeding. It's like white bleeding through.
Wow.
Um,
That's so interesting. And if anybody is unsure, we're referencing the dancing video that was posted. It was 12 a.m. Eastern time, um, on 1/5/23, and it's of
Mhm.
her dancing, and
With a
it
new
it gives you
iPhone.
with a new iPhone in hand, which is
Oh,
interesting.
still shitty
Whoa.
footage, but Still
How does
blurry.
that work? Right.
The freaking
I'm
iPhone
like,
14, are you kidding me? It would be crystal clear.
that's what I'm saying. Okay. And so I don't know much about how they actually do the AI stuff, but I have gone to some of these like sites and watched their videos, and they literally could transplant an image of a new phone in somebody's hand that's holding like an old one. They really
Yeah,
can do this.
like
This is
super
not future
easy.
anymore. This is now.
Yeah, that's like 2000 CGI. Like we've we've been had
Yeah.
that.
And so it makes sense why Jamie Spears has, he's been deposed for this to produce paperwork on what him and Kroll have done, and they're spying on her and what they were going to use it for with this AI project. And they have yet like to produce any of the documents or the paperwork asked for. They keep evading it somehow with the lawyer. And so it makes sense why they're doing that, because this is going to be huge. Like, this no longer lets anybody speculate. People are still using the terms green screen and CGI to say it's conspiracy. But right now, because Kroll specifically listed an AI project, we can technically use that and fight people on this being a conspiracy. You know what I mean? Those
Right.
two words right there.
And we
So,
had mentioned in private um that AI, the word, it shouldn't be so scary, AI, because it's
yes.
literally your Snapchat filter that you're putting on your face, or your TikTok filter you're putting on your face. That's, it's using AI algorithm to track your face and put on a separate look. And so it's as simple as, AI shouldn't be so taboo and so scary to talk about,
Mm-hmm.
because we're living in
Well,
this
let me ask you
world.
something. Aren't these filters on TikTok AI?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what my husband and I were talking about. And he was like, because my husband is not into anything conspiracy. He is just, straight laced. I don't want to hear about it. We just know that's where a line is drawn. We don't really talk about that stuff even for fun. I go to my dad for that. But
Well, at least you know the boundary, right?
yeah. But as soon as I told him this, he was just all over it. He said, "Oh yeah, this is normal." And he started pulling up companies. He started showing me things. It
Mm.
was crazy. It was crazy. All right, you doing that for me?
Oh no, sorry. I had to burp. I had
Oh,
to, I had to pull away from the
I thought that
microphone.
was for me. I was like, what's going on? Do I need to
No,
move?
I keep burping. I don't want it to pick up because
You can't cut this out.
this
You can't
microphone
cut
is
out.
so what is it, sensitive. Oh
Okay.
gosh.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, so I said that there was like multiple things happening in that video. So the green screen is
Hmm.
definitely one aspect, and
Okay.
then you slow it down, and we step into the deep fake aspect of the Jamie Lynn face, and
Yes.
the hands are stepping more into the body double, because it's clearly a
Hmm.
body double. So there's multiple things going on in the situation that, like, it's all right. I feel like it's all like it is
Yeah.
AI, it's green screen, it's
Hmm.
body
Oh, it
double,
is.
it's
Yeah.
all of it combined, and that's why we're still
Hmm.
getting grainy footage from an iPhone 14.
Yeah. It really shouldn't. There shouldn't be so many glitches when you slow it down. So, um, a, Ashlyn actually has done so many funny videos where she's filming herself doing some of the things that Britney is doing in her videos. And when we slow it down, there's no weird glitching.
Mm,
There, we see her in every phase. And that's
mm,
just a human example of, real world time being, footage. And so that's just a little different. Now that doesn't mean that's completely right, but it's just an example. So um yeah, a lot of weird stuff going on with that. And I do think we're going to get a lot of pushback from creators more than anything, because the commenters, the followers, they are just all on board. They're like, oh my gosh, yes, yes, yes.
yeah.
They've been feeling something too. We've all been feeling something, and we're just slowly putting the pieces together. So I really think that this is what she's been trying to expose. One of the things, and it makes sense why she has had to do it so carefully. This still leaves it up in the air as to what this means for her captions. Somebody did comment and say, so this means that Jamie Lynn is making all the captions. And I said, well, actually, no, not at all. What this means to me, this is what I see, and there's many different options, is that Britney has gotten the footage and she's leaking it with certain captions. But that also goes along with the theory that she's on the run, because I don't really think she'd be able to do that if she's there with somebody. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we're watching the power play on her Instagram where she posts something or somebody close to her, who knows, and then it gets deleted.
Hmm.
So there's something like that.
Or it gets
It
edited over and over. The caption will be edited like three
yeah,
times and then deleted.
yeah, yeah. I mean, what's the reason for
It's
that,
definitely
right?
like, but there, what is it? There's 8 people logged into that account, so it's like
Yeah,
they're constantly battling each other. It's just
they
like,
are. We're watching
so
it.
I feel like her captions are one of the only ways that she can talk.
Yeah. So if she was not on the run and she were indeed, trapped or not even trapped, but just there, then it's still possible that somebody somewhere is helping her to leak that stuff. You know what I mean? Because we don't
Yeah.
know the exact situation. We have to be open to all of it.
Yeah,
I
because
want
they
to think
have
she's on the run
like
though.
that has to be some of the stuff that they all have in their cell, like Kroll and all them. Like they have to have like hours and hours of Britney's personal footage on her phone, probably back in the conservatorship when she had nothing to do. So she would just film herself dancing, and it was her private,
Yes.
excuse me, private stuff in her phone. And then, once she found out that that's not private anymore, it's like all just
Mm-hmm.
out there. Of course, she's going to start trying to beat them to the punch and share certain stuff that might be unflattering or who
Right.
knows, or naked in the shower. Like, because she's like, oh, I got this footage. And before you try to blackmail
Mm-hmm.
with me, look at, I'm just going to post it.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people say, well, why would she share those things of herself? And honestly, as a woman, I'm sitting here, or just as a person, a human being, I'm thinking, if it meant I could expose somebody, I might do some shit like that too. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? I mean, we're
Yes.
talking about 15 years of this woman being oppressed and beaten down into, some
And
kind of captivity.
she's no stranger to having the world like be against her. Like she
Yeah.
knows what it's
She's
like to
got
have the
nothing to
world
lose
hate
now.
you, and she knows what the world's like when they love you. Like she says it in her For the Record documentary.
Yeah.
I've seen both sides, and there's one side that's just damn cruel, but it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
exist without the other side that's beautiful. So it's like,
Wow. This is why I could never think that she would just not address her concerned fans at this point. All those things she's ever said, that doesn't just go away. No matter how jaded she is from her conservatorship, she knows that through it, her fans have tried to help her. There's no way. There's
and
just no way she would leave us.
she's so incredibly patient as well. She's always been
Mm-hmm.
very patient. She strikes when she has to and when she wants to.
Yeah.
Like she can wait and just be complacent. She just can shut off. Like
Mm-hmm.
she's a very
Because
patient
she's
person.
grown up in it really. I mean, even since she was a little girl though, not even
Yeah.
just since 17 with Baby One More Time, there was Disney and
Yeah.
Star Search and all that. So
And
it's
even
been a
back
way of
to when
life
she
for her.
was I was looking up the other day. She was at 7 years old. She was on a Mall's barbecue sauce commercial.
Oh,
So she, really
wait,
young.
barbecue commercial, very interesting because she mentions pig and hog heaven a lot. Oh man, I gotta
Oh
write this
yeah, she
down
did
just in
do
case,
when she
just in
was
case.
7. She did a little barbecue sauce commercial.
Oh man, always giving me good stuff. All right, Barb.
It's
Never
adorable
know,
though.
I'm just
I
gonna write it
definitely
down.
recommend it. It's cute. She's adorable.
Yeah. Yeah, I've actually enjoyed. I don't have a lot of time for TV right now, but I've been putting on documentaries about Britney's situation, which I know she expressed not being happy about, and that's why I did not watch them for the longest time. But at this
Yeah.
point, we need every ounce of help that we can get in seeing things and learning. Especially someone like me, like you are been like diehard fan from the beginning. I've been a fan but not that kind of fan, but I'm a fan of being an advocate for a human being. So
Right.
now I need to do my homework, on everybody and everything. So in order to
um
properly represent this.
did you happen to catch the little Nancy Grace 15, or what was it, 20-minute
Yes.
thing? The only takeaway was the aunt, but I made
Yeah.
like the point where I haven't spoken to my aunt in like 15 years on a conversational level. Like it's always just been Merry Christmas, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
If she was to go on and give an interview about my life and what I've been through, I would just crack up because she doesn't know anything like that about me, like, so I was just like,
Yeah.
I
I
had
was
to
waiting on you to
question.
say that. When I watched her, her words, what's the word, like fluttered almost because she was nervous. And it was because she was repeating stuff that was already out there. So it was definitely not like personal knowledge from being super close, I don't think. So that was a little odd, but I know Nancy was just trying to get as close as she could in some kind of interview, right?
Right.
So I don't know. I didn't really think much came of it unless it is something that is actually the beginning of something. Because Nancy Grace, I know I say Nancy Drew a lot,
I love
Nancy
it.
Grace has a big voice when she wants to have one.
Hmm.
So if it lights a fire in her ass, then I'm all for it. Do whatever you got to start it, however you got to start it, you
Yeah.
know? So because we need bigger voices at this point. So if we can recruit people, even if it's people that we don't fully agree with, like when Rosie O'Donnell came in my live and some people said, no, Rosie, I'm like, hey, if she wants to give us a voice, which I have no problem with Rosie, but if she wants to give us a
Yeah.
voice, let her do it, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Any way we
So
can get the noise out.
yeah. But I think it's going to be hard for Hollywood because I think this runs deep. And this is why we all have to be careful in the way that we speak about it as well. And we have to make sure that we say that all this is always speculation and opinion because this is a very big thing. It's not just a family owned, a family run conservatorship for Britney. This is now an industry run conservatorship for Britney.
Right.
And actually, I think it always was because they influenced Jamie Spears, the dad.
Mm.
So in a way, it probably always was.
I want to bring it back to another green screen theory
Okay.
or discussion. Someone had mentioned that if you guys go back to the private jet going to New York video, I made a
Uh-huh.
video on it a long time ago. Well, not that long ago, a couple weeks ago, and how it looks like she's not actually on that plane. Someone had
Right.
mentioned that that particular shot of her looks like from when she used to do her runway videos a lot in 2017, 2018. um and it looks like a still from like maybe one of those that never got posted, so they just used it for the plane footage.
Like when she's actually posting like kind of close standing up in the gray skirt.
Yeah, and
I'll
like
have
it,
to
her
watch
head
that.
is being like top lit, but she's on a
Yeah.
plane.
Yeah.
It just looks so weird. um
Yeah, that really felt like that was like put in there from something else. Because I remember when
yeah.
I watched that, I was like, if anything is current, that would be the only thing that I would think would have been current, you know?
Right.
Or, but I think that was just it, is because it just felt out of place. And that's what you're saying, right? That would may
Yeah,
have been like put in there
it
from
just
another
didn't look
time.
right. And like I remember zooming in around her hips and almost seeing that same glowish thing that I always notice in the green screen
Yeah.
looking
Oh, I'm gonna
stuff.
look
Like,
for that now. That's
yeah, start
awesome.
looking for the aura because it's just not normal.
Yes.
It's what you see, like, like when you
Wow.
put a picture behind you on TikTok, sometimes you'll see that little glow around yourself when it's your
Mm,
real background's leaking through in certain spots. Or
yeah,
I mean,
that's
obviously
true.
their whatever program they're using is a little more advanced because it does do a
Right.
darn good job at least hiding stuff like that. It's not as simple as like a TikTok green screen. They're using something a little more advanced.
Right.
Um, but it's still a green screen nonetheless. It's hard to fight that, I feel like, or at least one of the factors of what's going on in the pictures.
Yeah, for sure. And that just reminded me that current husband just went on a YouTube interview. Did you see that?
Ew, I was watching
I'm gonna
some of
pull
his
it up.
story. So he had posted on his stories
Ew.
last night
Go for it.
about just it was like him doing some kind of press interview on stage, and he was like making the
Hmm.
crowd laugh, and he's just like, oh, back from Vegas, back in Los Angeles for the night already. Like, it was just such a weird, I can't stand looking at his posts sometimes. It was just so,
Yeah,
it's like
he's
the narcissism
something's
just
really off.
pops out at you.
Yeah, something's really off with him. So this is, in case anybody's watching, this is
Yeah.
it. This was the YouTube. He did a YouTube interview. The thing, what was interesting is that it's from, it says, Future Shock, the tech and trends changing entertainment.
God, that's
So it's
scary.
all about AI and
Yeah.
tech, just like his app. So that alone, the fact that he's sitting there and openly promoting his app and the movie that he was in, like, I'm like, the creators who push back on that theory and everything, I'm like, how does that even make sense to you? Are you
Yeah.
getting paid off or something?
Like
I
they're
don't
all
know.
the whole family's doing something. Like
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Jamie Lynn, too.
Jamie Lynn's got her little show. I saw that thing where a couple years ago Dad Jamie tried to get a cooking show in his
Yeah.
camper. I thought that was
Yeah.
so funny.
Oh, my God. There's no way I would watch that.
What a flop. I would have to just watch it just to be like, wow, this is embarrassing, and then turn it off. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I just thought about something too. You know what? That does kind of suck that we put out those videos about Jamie and the hands because I think it's going to drive people to her show. So
Oh my
that kind
gosh.
of
So they
sucks,
see,
right?
so they want to see her hands and all the
Yeah.
bruises
There's a
she got from
couple
doing that
creep.
show.
Oh my God.
Right.
That's where the bruises are coming
I
from.
I just had that thought. I
And
was
she's
like,
got little kids. I gotta
I
write
thought
this
about that
down.
because people talk about how her Britney's stomach has a little like different pooch in the front now, and I'm like, well, Jamie's had more kids, and Jamie has a
Yes.
different body shape and different body
Mm-hmm.
style that would cause it to be a little different.
I've actually looked up like bikini photos, but there wasn't that many like current ones. I feel bad doing this as a woman. You know what I mean? Trying to
But
pick
it's
apart
just
another
investigative
body.
journalism. It's not
Yeah,
you're
it's
not doing it
okay.
to
I
like
thank you for
look at
saying
her
that
like
because
that.
yeah, I and honestly, they're both beautiful in their own
Yeah,
way. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to investigate, like you said. So,
yeah.
but yeah, there is a difference in the waistline, that's for sure.
I also have written down all of her posts are grainy because they're screen recorded from a mirrored iPhone. Because we had talked about that on a live once, but I feel like it kind of grouped
Ooh.
into this topic. Um, that the graininess is coming because of how black box security was already exposed for how they were getting you know mirroring her iPhone to an iPad that was kept in a safe,
Mhm.
and it would make sense that if you're screen grabbing from a phone that's being mirrored to an iPad, you're going to degrade the quality of the picture as soon as you screen cap it because it's not the original post. It's a screen grab of it. Um,
Which is something I didn't know about. I just learned that from you, from Alan and Ashlyn. Like I didn't understand that. I thought it was just because it might have been older. But no, apparently when you take it from different places and re-put it out, like that changes it,
yeah,
right?
it
Isn't that what
degrades
you're
it.
saying?
And it's almost like
Yeah.
the reason like a lot of like androids get crapped on because of their grainy quality in their Snapchat photos is because the androids actually push through like they the way Snapchat works for Android is they're not using the actual camera on the phone. They're using like a screen recorded grab from your screen. And so that's why
Yeah.
you see on like people like dogging on Samsungs and stuff like because they take great pictures, but their
Oh,
Snapchat pictures are bad quality because it's a similar process in the way it's being done.
wow. That's so interesting. It's so interesting. And it makes so much sense. Remember the dance video that was released for apparently her in Mexico in the black and red dress and how you could barely see anything?
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty darn sure that that was already just old footage. But imagine how much, like if it's really that old, say 2017, 2018, 2019, how many times it's been moved around. So no wonder
Yeah.
like you can't see anything.
Right.
Now there
Right.
has been some talk, honestly, on the comments about my whole Jamie Lynn posts that have gone out this morning. People are like, "Oh, it looks. If you pause it here, it looks just like Jamie Lynn." So there's a possibility. I don't know, but yeah. So the comments on the Jamie Lynn posts are already starting to talk about, oh well, if you pause this, the Mexico dancing video in certain spots, it looks like Jamie Lynn. So there's a possibility. I mean, we don't know what
Oh.
footage could be her at this point,
And
honestly.
Jamie Lynn is shorter. And Britney has
Yeah,
been making that comment a lot of like, I look shorter, or like, but I thought Madonna was shorter than me. Why do I look so short? And like, did I
yeah.
shrink?
That's interesting that you say she's shorter because I thought she was shorter too. And then I Googled it for a video and they told me that she was like an inch taller than she said
Oh,
it said
Jamie Lynn?
it said she was 5'5" and that Brittany was 5'4" because so here's another reason why I pieced that together is because there's a post where that's Madonna and Brittany kissing and Brittany says, by the way, um, I don't know why Madonna is like shorter than me or no, or I'm shorter than her. I used to be taller than something like that, right? To that effect. And
Mm.
it was clearly because she was trying to get us to notice, trying to get us to notice. Sorry. Let me turn all these notifications off.
I love it. Sorry, I'm like looking at pictures of them together, like the most recent time when they were at the Disney Channel Awards or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both, I mean, it could be heels, but they're both wearing heels. And Britney's taller though.
Oh, here it is. So it's June 22. There's a post. Yeah, I know. I always thought she was taller too.
She's
I really
taller in all these
did.
pictures where they're standing next to each other. But like I said, it could be heels or something like that. But
Mm-hmm.
All these pictures, she's taller than her.
So on this post, Brittany says, "Weird that Madonna is extremely short and I was shorter than her. Do we shrink as we get older?" So to me, that sounds like she was talking about Jamie Lynn being shorter than her too. So I don't know. Google may have it wrong.
Right?
But
I always thought
and
Britney was
then
5'6".
yeah, I thought she was tall. I really
I thought
did.
she was 5'6". Well, I mean that's not even that tall, I feel like, but because Britney's petite, but
Hmm.
5'6" is still petite though. Like,
Yeah. Oh
but
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I
I don't
guess
know.
so. I guess so. I'm almost 5'6" and I don't feel petite, but I'm also not super skinny either. But anyways, but that post that was on in June of 22, and it was her like reflecting on the wedding. And this is when she started pulling stuff that people weren't really realizing at the time, and starting to try to softly expose the wedding and something being afoot with it. And then there's a post in August that she posts again with Madonna reflecting back on the wedding, and it's got two little wedding
Mm,
girl emojis, because we've talked about, did Brittany escape the wedding when Jason came in? Maybe he
mm.
caused a diversion.
Yeah,
and
because that video, like when he goes into her house, it
and
cuts off
that
so abruptly.
and that's like she came in as the double. That's what we've talked
Mm.
about before. So
And I think that they loved that we started saying, "Oh, it's Faye." So they started pushing that. They're like, "Oh, they think it's Faye." So push down. Let's push that down their throats a little more in little ways.
that would definitely be some like AI tech though, because Faye is so extremely skinny, like that. She's probably even taller. I don't know, but that would be interesting to try to make her look like Britney, I think.
Well, once we said that we thought it was Faye or like one of that, that's probably when they were like, "Oh yeah, they don't think it's Jamie Lynn. Let's go ahead and keep
Yeah.
keep up with that narrative a little bit."
Oh yeah, they've been playing this. So yeah, that's definitely something that TCon has been doing. TCon, if you're new here, is short for team conservatorship. Anybody that was kind of on that team, right? So they've you can tell they've been throwing out different narratives in different directions, and then seeing what sticks, and even like just evolving. We're
Mm.
watching it evolve. First it was the psychosis. That's with Perez, did not work that well. We fought back so hard. That kind of died down. I think Faye and that stuff kind of went back up. And then Brittany's posts were still a little weird, which I think some of them were from TCon, not only her. And then and now they are pushing the unwell thing again, and even saying that she has like amnesia from trauma. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple big creators pushing that. I don't want to like name
Which is what
names and cause
they said with
issues.
Selena Gomez too. They said the same thing.
Weird. So this is just a narrative that they do,
Yeah.
basically. We see this now.
Uh we who was it that was it me that made a video? I got it from someone else though, of at the wedding when they're doing the Vogue thing, how Britney's hand goes behind Paris's hair for like a split
I'm
second.
sure it was you. I've seen a lot of those videos. It's crazy.
And
What,
it's
like
a
it goes through it?
yeah, it just like she's
Yeah.
going like she goes like this if you're watching us on video. Um and it just Paris's hair goes like completely in front of it for like a split frame, and it's just like another example of what who was there, what was like what was happening
Yeah, there's been so many
on
like
that
conversations
setup
on.
stage. It wasn't a wedding, it was like a staged event. Sorry, but like
No, no, you're right. I was just thinking about what you're saying. No, a production is what
with like 12
Jason
people in the
Alexander
room.
has called it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think the reason he did Instagram Live was to make sure that he was safe, right? Like if he would have just recorded it on his phone, they could have taken it. Anything could have happened to him. So
Yeah.
he did it on Instagram Live, where he knew like somebody was going to film it. He
Hmm.
probably already had people and said, "Hey, I'm going on. I want you to film it all." That way, if anything happened to him, it was going to be on. But when he went in, it did. It looked like a set up production. That's why he was like, "Where is everybody? Hello,
Where's
hello."
Brittany? Where's Brittany? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm her first husband.
I know. I'm here to crash the wedding. Where's Brittany?
I actually love it. I
I
like
do too.
I
I do
like watching
too.
it.
I do too. It makes it's badass because he knows exactly where to go in that house. Like, you can't tell me he hasn't been there before or wasn't at least instructed on where to
Oh
go.
yes. Oh yes. And that's another reason why I'm like, was this some kind of conjoined effort, And I don't think it would just be them. I think if she was on the run, it would take a lot of hands trying to help her. I mean, if she was accessing her Instagram on the run, she'd have to have, what did we say, some kind of VPN where she couldn't
Yeah.
be tracked, right? And stuff like that, unless she was somewhere that she couldn't be touched and she knew it. So that's possible. I don't know. I don't know if you go out of country, if that's the case. Maybe that's why she
International
posts
waters.
Mexico,
That
right?
goes, yeah, that
International waters for sure.
yeah, it goes along with the theory that she's on a boat.
Yeah, that's a fun theory. We don't talk
Yeah.
about that because we get a lot of pushback on
Yeah.
TikTok for that.
But she could be on a boat. We've mentioned it with the stream of water and the type of shower she was in the shower video. It just it looks like either like a trailer or a boat shower, like with the way the water's streaming out. Um,
It looks like
it
a
would make
hose,
sense.
honestly.
Yeah, it looks like a hose. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense that because international waters is the best place to hide someone.
Okay, so say she did escape the wedding, right? So after that, there's these posts on Instagram, like especially after June, where there's a mattress floating in the water. Then there's these other posts where she's on a sailboat. And well, technically we're supposed to think that that is the like honeymoon footage. I've done a lot of videos, and I think other people have by now, that it's reused, like way
Yeah.
reused footage. So yeah. So that's another reason why I think we even started thinking about that stuff, was that people were saying that the shower looked like some kind of yacht or
Hmm.
boat or something. Wouldn't that be amazing? Ooh, and Jason Alexander, I do watch his stories, and he's been posting stories about being in Hawaii, which are old. But what if he's just referencing the water as well?
Mm.
We're getting deep now.
Do you remember the post of Britney recording Sam and saying like, "Oh, he gets seasick. Are you sick? Are you sick?"
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, that's true. I feel like they've honestly, I feel like they've been jabbing at each other ever since the wedding, because, there was a post from Sam. Well, there was the Cinderella shoe. And then what did he say? The runaway bride. He made a joke about a runaway bride.
Mm.
Remember?
My God,
So,
not the best joke to make, buddy.
by the way, he just put out another story. I'm blocked, so people have to send it to me. But apparently he just put out another story today, or yesterday, maybe it was. And it's got a Bad Bunny song playing in
Oh
the
yeah,
background. And the lyrics, have you seen that? The
I
lyrics are
think.
something like, I dumped you, or something like that. Yes, like who does that if you're
Ah,
just married? And I mean, like, come on.
yeah,
Everybody's
there,
looking at you. Here it is. Sam posted this clip yesterday with the song Te Bote, I Dumped You by Bad Bunny.
and he's like singing along with it.
Yeah, it says, if you're going to read in the song lyrics, it seems odd for a newlywed Sam to share. This is from Britney's Mystery on Instagram, by the way. It says, here's some lyrics. I cut you slack and I let you go. I let you go to hell. You left and you left. And I nailed your friend. I nailed her FUB.
Oh my
Baby, I
God.
threw you out. And ever since I threw you out, the girls come in threes. Oh my God.
And
Like,
Brittany kept posting that song, the "No, he don't want me. No,
I
he don't
know that
want
was the
me.
wedding song. He Don't Love Me by
He don't
Winona
love
Oak.
me." With it.
Stop, you're making me
What
laugh.
what a
Who does
great
that?
wedding song. Oh my God, that's the sweetest
It's
wedding
on the
song.
montage of their wedding. Oh my God, you got me laughing.
It's so funny though. Cause come on, like, no, he don't love me.
Yeah, I love that song, by the way. I put it on a lot of my videos too.
I do like the song, but it's
Yeah.
just that is so funny.
I mean, this is what they're resorting to. They're resorting to, like, I think, taking jabs at each other. Unless they're both, on different ends of that big ass mansion, just
Right.
posting stuff and playing around, which I don't think is what's happening. I don't know.
You know the carriage photo that we always talk
Yes.
about now
Yes.
with the Jamie Lynn theory in my head, that
Yeah.
could totally be her in that picture. Because we were thinking it could have
Yeah.
been Cade, but the
Cade.
face, now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, no, that could be
I'm gonna go look.
JL.
I'm looking right now. I am going to look. Yes. Actually, so I've talked a lot to my creator friends about how the shoulders look different in the arm, and the chest even looks a little different. And I do notice that Jamie Lynn's like cleavage area looks a little different. And the nightgown posts, the cleavage looks a little different
Yeah,
than the rest. I just feel like Britney's a little more petite in some ways.
for sure.
So that's really interesting. We're
Yeah,
gonna we're gonna be able to look back on so much stuff now and reference it.
and Jamie
Did
Lynn's
I?
hairline. Like if you look at her hairline from her call her daddy
Call you
podcast,
Daddy?
it looks
Yeah.
just like the Britney hairline now that
Oh,
we're
I'm gonna have to look
seeing.
at that. I gotta look at the hairline. Okay. So,
Britney, because Jamie Lynn has like a slightly shorter forehead.
okay.
Britney has more of like an M, like a
The what is it called? A widow's peak
widow's
or
peak.
something, I
Yeah,
think it's called. Yeah.
Britney has more of like a widow's peak where Jamie does not. It kind of just splits down the middle.
Dylan, what if that's why she flips her hair sometimes? Like to try to show like when it really is her, right? Oh my
Oh,
God.
because we were talking about how Britney's probably trying really hard to timestamp to show us things, and like,
Yeah. Because there's also one video that Ashlyn pointed out where I think if you're doing like AI, you couldn't like pull at the skin, especially around the eye, right? Because the
right.
eyes have a lot of issues and glitch a lot. But there's one video where she's like looking at herself, it looks like in the mirror, and she's kind of rubbing her eyes and pulling the skin. And so we think that that is probably really her, you
Oh,
know?
I'm looking for this photo because I want to put them
Oh
side
my
by
God, something
side.
just hit me about that nightgown one too while you're looking that up. Can I say real quick or do
No,
you?
yeah, because I'm actually looking up the nightgown photo right now. I'm trying to pull that up.
Okay, so you remember she posted tons of the nightgown photo, right? Like
Yeah,
she honestly, she probably quit. She was like, "Man, these people aren't gonna fucking get it." So she was,
yeah.
because she posted it so
She
many
just
times.
kept posting it. I married
She did,
myself.
but this one right here, she talks about. I think every woman knows how you can be the most beautiful person in the world if you don't have good lighting. It's shit. I'm almost thinking this is on. By the way, this is on November 26, 2022. She looks so petite here if you're watching.
Hmm.
And I'm almost wondering if they really did have footage of Britney. And then that's how they were able to do maybe like an AI video with Jamie, if that's the case. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Oh
don't
my
know for
gosh.
sure, but because her hands actually do look more petite in this one. And she has shared so many times saying, here's the original lighting. Here's
Hmm.
that. But the bruises thing, oh my God, Dylan, I cannot wait to take that to other people. That was amazing because we talk about so many bruises. And if this really is Jamie Lynn posing, then that would explain. She's got little kids. She's on the show. Like this
Okay.
made so much.
Okay. Do you see their hairlines there?
I do. And you're right, Jamie Lynn's is more just round, just plain round, like an oval. Wow.
It almost looks like there's some makeup to give her a widow's peak, but they failed.
I see that.
But
Oh my gosh.
see how like if you guys are watching, we're showing the pictures right now that we're talking about. Brittany has like that little widow's dip in the middle, so it's not a
That
perfect
little
center
dip.
part. Brittany can't
Mm-hmm.
really make that perfect center part. She has to at least offset it just a little bit. Whereas
I understand that because that's how my hair is. So I get that. And Jamie's is not like that. You can
Jamie
see.
can go straight down the middle.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I just got chills.
Yeah, that's something right there. I'm writing this down. Jamie's just a plain oval, basically, is what it looks like.
Yeah, they have a different face shape, but it does look like it was like darker in that spot. Like like it looks like maybe they
Yeah,
know that there's a hairline difference and they try to like darken it or something.
it does. I'm actually watching the video right now, which is also November 26th. And by the way, since we're putting all this stuff out there, people should really go screenshot everything you can,
Yeah.
honestly, because there's no telling what they're going to change the more that we put out here. Dylan, I'm going to show this to you real quick because I was watching the video and I just took a screenshot of it. And this looks just like Jamie Lynn's hairline. See, look, there's nothing there, right?
Oh yeah.
Just plain round. That's how I feel. Yeah.
Definitely a new facet to add to our
Yeah. Hmm. That is interesting. Well, I know. So what other kind of like deep fake stuff or
so we have so it's out there and Paris, Paris Hilton keeps posting with her friend who does the Tom Cruise deep fakes.
mm-hmm.
And they're so good. And I was so like, wow, like he can even put his hand in front of his face and swipe his face and the like it doesn't fall off at all.
That's
And
really good
it's really good, like really sophisticated. Almost
because
like a couple
whatever they're,
steps in
sorry,
front.
go
No,
ahead.
no, no. It's
Yeah.
just what you were gonna say. It's like they're like a couple
Yes.
steps in front of what Britney's
Yes.
technology is.
Yeah, whatever they're using, which they're so sloppy, and
So
obviously
sloppy.
they're going to continue to learn from it, from everything that we're putting out there. But that doesn't mean that we just can't be silent just because we're afraid for them to learn to get better. Like we have to keep
Right.
pushing. But
And T-Con's always been sloppy too. That's what just makes me
so
think even more that
weird.
it's them because they've never been good at covering their tracks.
So funny. It's so funny to me. Um, yeah. Let's see. Okay, so Metaphysique is another company that I don't even know how I found them, if somebody sent them to me or what, but I was looking for examples of this whole AI thing. And so you can go to metaphysique.ai on Instagram and they've got all these videos. They've actually got, oh, you know what? Is that they've actually got some videos of Paris and the deep fake. So I wonder if that has to do with it. Let me go look. Um, Oh, so these guys, they were on America's Got Talent, and that's how
Oh
they, yeah, got their
they
I
were
don't know,
doing like the
fame and
Simon
stuff.
Cowell singing on America's Got
Yes, and
Talent thing.
Elvis. Like you can,
Yeah.
and I've showed the video a couple times on my feed on TikTok. Like you can see them standing down there as an avatar, and then up on the screen is Elvis or Simon Cowell or Heidi or whoever they're doing. It's crazy. Yeah, so they've got deep Tom Cruise likes to dance. I need to know if they are in with them because they've got some of their videos on here.
It
They've got
has to be.
Deep Tom LA. This has got to be like part of Paris's.
What year were they on America's Got Talent? Do you know what year that was?
Let
Because I'm like, if it was a
me
couple
look.
years ago, they could
Season
definitely.
17. Well, we can Google when season 17 was,
Oh, I
right?
got you. I got you. That was May 31st to September 14th of 2022. So it was pretty recent,
Oh,
actually.
that is recent. Wow. Well, I think Paris's thing is pretty recent. I'm gonna look on her TikTok and when she started putting out that video. October 20th, 2022. I found one.
Yeah,
And
so it's like a month after they
yeah,
wrapped
it's
up the
this main
show.
one, right?
Yeah,
Like one
that
of the
one.
first ones.
Yeah, that one got me because I was like, there's
Whoa.
no way that's a deep fake. Because I even looked at the captions when I saw that the first time. I was like, AI or deep fake, whatever it says in the like the hashtag. I'm like, how? That's Tom Cruise, right? Like, I don't understand.
I know. I remember thinking the same thing and like being so confused as to what the video was at the
Yeah, I was like,
time.
wait, I thought Tom was a little older. Like, why does he look so
Yeah.
young?
I just remember being so confused. I'm just not really, once I do learn technology, I'm okay. But at first I'm like, huh? What? What is
Like,
that?
what am I looking at? Was what I was like, what am I seeing here? Like, I thought she was married. What's happening?
Yeah, all they did with letting out all that information, even letting out their company, was just help us,
Yeah.
you know?
So
All they
now
did
we
was just
know
help
that
us.
if Paris is promoting it or talking about it, then that's probably
Hmm.
a PR move from Lou, like directing her
Yep.
what to talk about. So that means that Lou's probably in the bucket with whatever AI firm technology they got going on. Because her and Jamie love each other, so I'm sure they're still finding
Yes.
ways to work with each other.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, when I was looking over some of that paperwork about Kroll and about the deposition for Jamie and everything, he was still asking, was it Black Box or Kroll? He was still asking for security footage, um, like even after he was terminated from the
Mm,
conservatorship. Is that not crazy?
control. He's so controlling. He just thinks
That
that he
means he
could
was
do
still going
whatever.
to try to like do deals or
Ugh.
something.
Yeah, there's still something going on in the works.
Yeah, I'm actually one of my other creator friends. We look over court docs a lot. Kat, she's at not Brian Fallon on TikTok and IG. And we're still not really convinced that there's not a conservatorship in like that has been tried to be incorporated in another state. Let's just say that.
Mm,
So when the one in California was canceled, it canceled all of the extensions that Jamie tried to put in the other states. So all those were canceled. But that does not mean that other new ones could not have been sought after because Britney or just the company of Britney, right, has property in, I can think of at least 6 states right now,
Yeah.
like Pennsylvania, Ohio, Washington State, Tennessee,
Which
Georgia,
makes me
I
even more
think,
mad that
Florida.
it makes me even more mad that Jamie Lynn went on Call Her Daddy and was like, if Jamie or if Brittany wanted to, why didn't she just move out of California? Why didn't she just leave
Yeah.
California? Like, so
Yeah.
tone
No,
deaf.
it was never something good towards her when I saw that and tried to push like this, narrative that, oh, I hope that means that she took her advice and ran away. Cause that was, as soon as I saw that interview about Jamie Lynn saying that, that's what I thought. But I never thought anything good of Jamie Lynn. Like she only brought that up to try to make herself look better. That's
Yeah.
obvious. It wasn't, there was still ill intent there. It was like, I told her.
Yeah.
Like,
Since
of
she
course she
peaked
can
on
talk like that.
since she peaked on Zoe 101, she's always been trying to get back to that level of success in any way she could.
Yeah. That's sad. It's sad what fame and money can do to people. It doesn't have to, but it can. And this is a really poor example of that. Or actually, it's a really good example of that. Let's say
Yeah. To see what Brittany's gone through. Ugh.
that.
And she's just so sweet and it just kills me to see. I was showing a lot of old documentaries on my TikTok yesterday, my TikTok live, and just rewatching a lot of like Britney's mannerisms. I was like, where is that woman? Like she's not
Hmm.
here. She's not in what
Yeah.
I'm seeing recently. Her fire, her zest,
Yeah. Well, and we can understand that she wouldn't be as zesty, even for a while. She's dealing with like a lot of trauma. But if we were seeing glimmers of happiness here and there, that's when we would see that. And I know that's what you're trying to say as well, too.
Yeah.
Like that's not there at all. Like there's nothing there. We don't even hear her anymore. We don't hear her talk about anything. They've completely censored her. I think when she came out about the wedding post, what was it around? What was that? Was that on Christmas Day or after Christmas? A couple days after. Ever since then, I feel like she's been like heavily silenced. I can't even tell for sure if she's the one posting the past few,
Yeah.
posts. So, which is really sad. But I mean, okay. So that you remember the one where she's dancing in the Westlake gym, right? Let's take it back to the beginning of that, what
Yeah.
we were talking about. At the very end, is it this one where she lights the lighter and she just holds it up to the
Yeah.
camera and then holds it down and sticks her tongue out at it?
Yeah.
So there's been like so many references about Megan Fox and Jennifer's
Jennifer's
body. I've seen
Body. But I did notice like the Jennifer's Body reference would go along when she was playing a Jennifer Lopez song. Um,
that. Oh yeah. Well, so there were quite a few people who did comment this, and I'm going to negate it a little bit, like debunk it. Although I would love if this were true, but I don't think it is. But they said, earlier in that day, like 4 hours before that post came out, I did some commentary on Nancy Drew's documentary. And during it, I was like, I know what I'm saying. I was like, I hope this lights a fire in her. And everybody's like, oh my God, Brittany responded to you. And as much as I would love for that to have happened, I was like, I honestly don't feel like she was, because it didn't feel like authentic. It felt planted. And if we are right and it's an AI situation, then it wasn't her. But let me tell you something though. I do believe that TCon is going to try to mess with us creators and sit back and laugh. Like there's a
hmm
possibility that they could try to be like, well, let's see if this gets her.
Right.
Let's lead them on this thing, because I do. I think we need to watch for that. I think they're going to, I mean, their narrative is changing daily. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're scrambling to stay ahead of us.
Yeah. So are there any other weird green screen or deep fake things that you had written down?
Did you see, kind of off topic, on topic, but still conspiratorial? Dan Reynolds from Imagine Dragons came out saying, hey, I just want to let you guys know Illuminati's real. I was a part of it. I want to share about this. Beyonce's there, Taylor Swift is there, Harry Styles is
What?
there. He referred to Taylor Swift as the historian, like and it's wild.
What?
Yeah.
I I
He's like
have to
he's
see
like
this. I just
he's
pulled
like
up
we
Dan
got our fame.
Reynolds.
He's like we got our fame from Imagine Dragons from the Illuminati. Um, he
Oh
just like went
my
off on
God.
a little like TikTok tangent or something, or I think it was a TikTok. Yeah,
Is it Dan Coulter Reynolds? Is that him?
I guess
No?
maybe Dan
Here, let me.
Reynolds. I didn't know he had a
Imagine
middle name.
Dragons it was that group, right? I
Yeah,
loved them. Imagine
yeah,
Dragons. Whoa.
And they were like on top of the world
I've
for a
heard
couple
stuff about
years.
Taylor, by the way, but I don't want to say anything mean. I like Taylor too, guys. I'm not having the Swifties come after me.
No, please don't, please don't. Yeah, but I have heard some stuff too about like, and the fact that he called her the historian when there's all this like talk about how she looks just like this woman from like many, 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 many years ago. Like,
Yes. Oh my God. So that I find that really weird that so nobody's coming straight out and saying, the stars with like help Britney, but we've got Jeffree Star and now Dan Reynolds talking about the Illuminati.
yeah.
That's
And Tory
interesting to me.
Lanez in that Tory Lanez music video where he's got Britney
Oh,
tied up.
wait, we brought this up on the live, but I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Tory
So
Lanez.
yeah, Tory Lanez put on a music video and he's got a look-alike Britney dressed up in the Baby One More Time outfit tied to a stake, and there's like a satanic
Oh,
ritual
there
going
it
on
is.
around her.
Okay, yeah, I think I was like looking at comments when that
And he
came
said
over on
something
our
like,
live.
and he says something like, and we had to spear Britney or something like that.
That I don't actually like to hear that. That makes me really nervous
It's
because
uncomfortable, but
it is
it
one
is
of my worst fears is that she's been gone for a while. That's one of my worst fears. So for
yeah,
a lot of
same.
us, I think.
I hate
Yeah,
that thought, but I
yeah,
mean, it's pop culture. What just happened?
yeah.
It's hard not to talk about it when he's saying that and got a look-alike Baby One More Time girl. It's like, whoa, what are you saying? And then Dan Reynolds says this and says like, oh, Beyonce won't say anything. I'm gonna try
Well,
and say what I
duh.
can. Yeah, of course, duh. But you have to definitely watch that.
I just have one other question before we wrap it up. Unless you have anything else too.
No,
But so the nude pictures, do you think that those Britney or because I looked back at some today and the hands reminded me of Jamie on some, but I'd be surprised if Jamie would do it. But I don't know. She could be a freak like that. But
yeah, Jamie will do anything to be relevant.
you think so?
Yeah,
Okay, that makes sense. Because, and then there's some that look like the one where Brittany's in the bathtub. She
the
looks really
tub.
petite,
But the
but
belly
she
has
looks
that
really
little thing that JL has.
very interesting. Yeah, I feel like that's a ploy to make her look
And the head,
crazy
I
and
mean, they can heavily Photoshop it. Obviously, they have to add the tattoos in and stuff. Did you
yeah,
notice, like on the video that was released yesterday that we were talking about in the beginning, that when she spins around, it's almost like her back tattoo just like pops up out of like no. I was trying to slow it down to like see it, but
yeah.
it's hard to catch it, and it just looks like the
You made a
tattoo just like
video on that,
pops
didn't
up.
you?
Um, did I?
I thought you did. I thought you did because I was on your page. Maybe I was just looking at it in general.
Oh,
I
it
could have
was
swore I
on
saw
my
you say
backup. I
something.
talked about the tattoos
Okay.
disappearing and reappearing. Yes, you're right. I forgot
Yeah.
about my own content. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I did see that. And that's not the first time I've seen a video where like the back tattoo in particular comes
Yeah.
and goes and comes and goes. It's really
And
odd.
her two hip tattoos in that video were not showing like they should. Her pants were pulled down, and I know because I have the replica tattoos, and I know where my pants sit and where her pants
Yeah,
sit, and when the tattoos show and when they don't show, they should have been
right.
showing.
Right. Which is a lot of people say that's why she pulls her pants down is not to be immature, not to be some stupid show off. It's think that she's trying to give us more like what we are saying as timestamps or something to reference on what might be her and things like that. I really do think that she could have been giving us like nuggets, you
Yeah.
know?
I also couldn't see her foot tattoo when she took her shoes off halfway through the video.
Weird. I think I've heard other people say that. I'll have to go back and look. Well, I wonder if we'll get
It's
anything
also
else.
grainy as hell though, so I didn't want to say
Yeah.
anything, about the foot tattoo definitely not being there because it's so grainy, but I could not see it.
Well, I would really like to see something that felt like it was Britney. Honestly, I decoded that post just to do her justice in case her voice was there because I feel like it's one of the only ways that maybe her voice is getting. But part of me is a little concerned that it's not. So, um, I hope we get something that continues to give us signs if it is her. Um, and I wonder how T-Con's going to react from this new Jamie Lynn stuff that I think a lot more people are going to jump on this bandwagon and start comparing and putting out. I really do. And I'm
Yeah.
happy about that because it needs to be looked into. It does. I'm never an advocate for trying to hurt somebody, out them in public or anything. But in this case, like we're talking, the only I've done that to are people that are actively seem to be trying to hurt Britney Spears, you know?
Yeah.
So in that case, like what's the what's the phrase? No bars up. I don't know. There's some damn
Oh,
phrase about it.
no holds barred.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So
Yeah,
if that's
I
the
love that
case, like
phrase.
this up, whatever.
Oh, wait,
But
can we
anyways.
just for like a quick recap?
Hmm.
Kroll, what is Kroll exactly? Just so people know.
Okay, so Kroll is basically like a PI company, private investigative company. And they've actually helped some really high profile people, as in like judges and things like that, to get the dirtiest of the dirty when somebody's trying to get divorced or just needs help to take somebody else down. As in, like, they go too far. They will plant all the recording devices in places that they never should be, just like when Britney had that stuff recording her bathroom conversations and stuff like that. So I'm not exactly sure if they were hired directly through Jamie or if that was something with Black Box. But they are the company that like I said, was used to help spy. So they have a lot of the footage, a lot of the
Hmm.
documents to produce on all of that. So, um, and
Non-consensually. Ugh.
there is for sure, and on my link tree I have the link in the bio on the article about it too. They have what is called to them an AI project for Britney Spears, where they were basically using everything that they spied on her with to make deep fakes. They even say make deep fakes in the
Mm,
document. Make deep fakes so that she is never physically needed again for interviews, performances, and some other things.
mm,
Yeah.
I hated
And
that.
that is being deposed in court. So it's not a conspiracy. There's nothing to fight about that. There's no way you can debunk it.
Yeah, it's going on. It's
it
happening.
it has happened. It's yeah. So and that's why I'm glad that Brittany is like they've been trying to object it and Brittany is not, or Brittany and Rosengart have not been letting it go.
Mm,
They're like, nope, bring it. So the
wow.
next court date is 111. So in 5 days.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Also important. I just want to put this out there so that people know how to find this on their own. Like you can go to lacourt.org and you can look up Brittany's conservatorship case number, which is B as in boy, P as in Paul, 108870. That is her case number. And you can see the docket and it's got all the court dates and just an overview of what has happened. You can also go to this Twitter. It's Brittany Docs. Let me make sure. Brittany Docs. And they have a Google Drive in their bio where you can access all of words because otherwise, usually you have to buy these things. So it's at Brittany Docs. Yeah. So on Twitter. So I think it's good for people that care to access these things. The
Yeah,
power is in
and we didn't
numbers.
and it's we didn't sneakily obtain this either. This
No.
is all out there. This is all out
Mm-hmm.
there for you to
All
see
out
and for
there.
you to knowledge yourself. What am I trying to say? Educate yourself.
Educate yourself.
For
Yes.
you to knowledge yourself.
You oh my God. So what else did we need to recap on?
I'm
Anything?
trying to think if there's any other AI green screen or deep fake.
No, we talked about the dancing post on 1-5. We talked about Jamie Lynn and how there's strong reason to inquire that Jamie Lynn might be the avatar that's being used for AI post for Britney's on Instagram. We talked about maritime law, and we hope that she's in the water somewhere or somewhere safe.
Just looking at her Instagram right now, like the
Yeah.
picture where she's doing the thumbs up on the plane, she's got
Uh-huh.
the hair is not a middle part, but then the picture of her licking the flame last night is a perfect middle part.
Oh my gosh, yes, yeah, that is so right about I'm looking at the flame right now. Yep. Oh, it's yeah. Wow. It does almost look like they did try to make the
Try
widow's
to
peak
like
a little bit.
yes.
Yeah,
There's
it's interesting.
it's not right. It's fishy.
Yeah, something's not adding up.
The wedding or the veil one is the one that I feel like she's trying to show us the most, and that one is like that widow's peak just looks like eyeshadow. That looks like a
Oh yeah,
perfect middle part with like a little eyeshadow to create a widow's peak illusion.
right. Wow. Well, I do have some other stuff to talk about, but I'll save it for Tuesday because this is all kind of about like our deep fake green screen stuff, and I don't get to talk about that much on TikTok anymore because it is such a wide platform and I'm trying to keep realistic, stuff or just people that will could help us and give us a voice. And if I cover anything conspiracy, nobody's going to take us seriously over there. So I've
Yeah.
had to inch out of it, which sucks,
We
but it
can
does.
our bonus episodes will probably be on the more conspiratorial side than our
Yeah.
vanilla Tuesday episodes. I think
Yeah.
that makes more that's a good outlet we can have.
I think so too. I
Because it's good
like
to
that.
talk about it. It's that's our we put a lot of work into our these theories. We're not just like sitting around like making crap up. We're looking at
Mm-hmm.
facts,
Well, we're
things that
spending time.
actually
Oh, we're
happened.
spending time.
Right, right,
We're spending time
absolutely.
researching. And you know what? A lot of people are, though. It's not even just us.
Yeah,
It's so amazing how many people message. I'm sure you're getting them too.
yeah. The
You
tip
know,
line's been awesome. I try to share with you what I can, but
I
it's
know.
crazy.
Yeah. I love everybody. Well, it's been fun as
Yeah.
always.
I will
So
see
fun.
you on Tuesday with a new episode as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
This has been real fun. I've loved to get this out, so I love it.
Channel 8, Free Britney 2.0.
Hey.
Woohoo. Peace out, right?
All right,
We're trying to sound
Heather.
cool.
I love it. Oh,
Okay.
I should recap the tip line. Then if you guys do want to
Oh,
leave us
yeah.
a message on the tip line, 720-515-1915.
All right. Bye, Delly.
Bye.
Bye.